Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you gotta get some. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Hey guys, good morning. Oh, I can't hear myself. Good morning. Welcome. You're listening to Live Day Trading with me, Speculator Seth. It has been a long weekend. I am just ready to get back into it. But then we only get to get back into it for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it's Christmas holiday, and Christmas trading really sucks unless it was last year. Anyways, I digress. I am excited to have you guys back. We have a lot of things to talk about. Got the market going on here. So let's just come over to the charts really quickly here. They are just selling these treasuries really hard. So they have come back to the 128.23 half area. I wanted to check here if I come over and look at the actual volume on this down move. So on this huge down trend, where the majority of it happened, look at the number of trades. 36, 31, 19, 24, 80, 41. And the total volume on these are not even 1,000. And now when we get down into here, do we actually start to see some real volume coming in? No, we don't. Well, right in here. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. So we had a pretty strong move down on a technical basis, but not a lot of volume. And I find this move to be a little bit suspicious. Another thing I want to point out about it is that, if we come over here and look at the correlations, for instance, okay, is there a correlation with the Japanese yen, for instance? The treasuries went down a lot more than the Japanese yen did, right? British pound is up. Euro is up. This whole thing is just bleh. I don't trust it at all. So I was kind of excited to come in here and maybe see a really good trade setup. And I'm just not entirely enthusiastic about what I see. So I may stay out. I might be a little bit more cautious just because, it's Monday and it's been a long weekend and everything. It really looks to me like they're trying to goad me into selling it. I mean, right here at 28, selling would be a really great trade, don't you think? Michael says, wow, that title rocks. Thank you. When was it? Last Wednesday, in order to fit everything that we wanted in the title, we had to remove some stuff. And then I just kind of left it the way that it is. We could maybe add live day trading treasury futures in there or something like that. We'll come up with a great title and everything. Good morning, Uzi. All right, so let me just start the text-to-speech stuff here. Text-to-speech. Cool.
Michael XC says asterisk visits.
Oh.
Michael XC says free porn if you want more viewers.
That's what I should put in the title. I think we can come up with a more clickbaity title than that. By the way, Bitcoin this morning buying it. That's interesting. Now, is there some news maybe out there that I'm not aware of? Let's double check that, because it's just this whole thing. Things aren't quite lining up for me. Stocks making the biggest moves. Pre-market, Disney, Las Vegas, Sands, Fiat, Chrysler, and more. Target, Walmart, and other major retailers are a threat to Amazon this Cyber Monday. Okay, if you say so. Morgan Stanley down the road. I don't see any macro news, so I just don't understand why they're trading it down. I don't understand. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's my view on things at the moment. Okay, we have a situation where people want to buy stocks, and that is causing them to sell the treasuries. And there are a lot of people that have been long treasuries for a long, long time, and it is a very big dive down lower, and we could have another very aggressive move down.
Michael XC says, man, if the market would move the way it did in Europe today a couple days of the week, I'd be really happy.
Right? Well, but remember, the volume in those areas was very, very light, okay? Anyways, so there's a reason for the Asian and the European session to push it down, but there's still this big problem, and the big problem is trade war. Everything that I see, every headline that I see coming through seems to indicate to me.
Michael XC says volume on ZB was fine.
Was it okay on ZB? I'm just looking in the ZN like they're not even getting over 1,000
Uzi
for a
Knesset
15-minute
says
period.
kinda interesting. Uzi Knesset says updated jigsaw. They
Oh,
added
they have
momentum
it?
tails feature.
They have it. That was the feature I was talking. I was talking in the lobby about this, and they released it. Wait. Let's update. I really want to see it. I really want to see it on my DOM. I think that in the E-mini this will be
Michael XC
so
says, yeah,
useful.
I just wrote about it on the Discord.
So useful. Okay, so where is it? When did they release this?
Michael XC says Pete uploaded a video.
Oh, you can see the video now. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that they downloaded it, or that was available. Yeah, somebody showed me that video. He put it up and he didn't make it public for like a week.
Uzi Knesset says, yeah, it seems like it'd be more useful in faster instruments. In treasuries they too slow most of the time, lol.
Yeah.
Uzi Knesset says it is available.
It is available? Okay, so then let's... well, you know what? We can come over here and do it. By the way, we should do this day overview thing on... That'll give us, like, the economic numbers. We do have some economic numbers. You're getting me distracted. You're getting me distracted, Uzi. Hold on, wait. I have to say, everything that I see seems to indicate that this trade deal is not going to happen. Okay? Let me get that out.
Uzi Knesset says, lol, sorry.
let me get that out. Everything that I see indicates that China wants all of the tariffs taken off,
Uzi
and the
Knesset
U.S. is
says,
not going to do
an
that.
hour ago.
Dude, it's not. They're not going to go for that. So there's that. Okay. There's a super interesting conversation going on in Discord too that I want to get into a little bit, but first we've got to day trader downloads. There we go. Okay. So was that the only thing that he added? I think it added. Okay, LTQ on a new column. Oh, really?
Uzi Knesset says there's a few things.
Okay, so you can display it as its own separate column, or you can display it as in the volume. Wait, LTQ is that? That means last traded quantity. Oh, okay. Cool. Momentum tells us the thing that Uzi's talking about. Added pause option to Tradeovate. Chat icon now auto logs into the new Rocket app. That's cool. Fixed NT8 bridge volume profile not bringing correct range. Couple of fixes. Oh, some of these are significant fixes though. Log file change, recon tape for gain, always highlighting trades, delays, and orders appealing on depths and sells for Brazilian futures. Okay. So let's download it. We'll download it, we'll switch over. See, they're just kind of trading around here up at the top. And even here on the first 15 minutes, not a lot of... Oh, no, wait. You know what? I might be seeing something really, really wrong. I might be seeing this really, really wrong. Well, hold on a second. I need to roll over. Roll over. Okay. Well, that's a little better. What I'm seeing is a little better. Ah, it's still these moves down were still pretty light though. Still pretty light. I hold to my earlier comment that the volume on those moves was relatively. I guess that one was 20,000. I don't know. I'm still not sold on this thing. And there's a lot of buying coming in too. Well, I don't know. Okay. I always hate it when I come in and I see something, and then as I start to analyze it a little bit further, I'm like, oh, okay, that's wrong. Just because I feel like, oh, I probably told people something that's, wasn't very useful at the time that I said it. And
Michael XC says I want to install it, but I hate that I lose all the current trades in the DOM if I do.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do it. And I don't want to run on startup. Why would I do that? I hate that it asks me about these.
Michael XC says I mean during market hours.
Right. Oh, do I have to close NinjaTrader too? Boo. Boo. Retry. No, it's not. You're lying. So I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited a second because it looks like the setup didn't completely close or something. Okay. I mean, it finished, right? It said that it was done. I'll just end task to it. Okay. Hopefully it's okay. Okay, now that I can see everything, I see everything as a little bit more like what I expect. For instance, I can see that Bitcoin just looks super ugly. Database verification successful. Cool. Okay, so entonces. You can see that I think there was a couple of other under the hood changes that they're not telling us about. Excuse me. Okay, well, right away it's not doing the tails thing. Momentum tails.
Uzi Knesset says you have to turn it on in options.
Yeah. Is it in the appearance? Let's see here in these ones, right?
Uzi Knesset says main options screen bottom.
Main option screen, bottom momentum tells. Oh, momentum.
Uzi Knesset says checkbox.
Cool. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, I like it. I like it. It's pretty. I'm going to leave it just on the E-mini for now, and then maybe we'll change it over here. It does kind of change the inside color, which, you know, could kind of distort my perspective on a couple of things. So I don't want to do it to the treasuries right away. Okay, so now that I have everything, let's just restart over here in the charts and make sure that we got everything right, okay? So when I come in here and I look at the volume, okay, so there's a spread. The spread is getting steeper.
Michael XC says cool, they fixed the bug I reported about gain feed.
Cool, yes. Same in ZB. I have it
Michael
set up so that
XC
it's
says,
not.
but unfortunately it affects rhythmic sometimes too.
It's not merging back, okay? Just to put that out there. Okay. And I want to come to this chart right here. Let's see. Okay, so like on this bar, 3,000 trades, 24,000 in volume down. And then another move, 48. Oh, that one actually was significant. But we trade back up into that location, as one might expect. And then if I come over and I look at this, so that we get a good read on the cumulative delta. So here's the cumulative delta. Look at the cumulative delta. Okay, big sell, right? Really? Really? So that doesn't... That's suspicious to me. So I think that my initial analysis is still correct. I'm a little bit skeptical about that move. Let's load the levels. Really? Really? Yeah, I have to come in here and do some refreshing. Okay. Better. Oh, they changed. There are changes that they didn't. The way that when you mouse over those and it kind of fades away, that's different. That was not there before, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that was not there before. Is it not loading my B? Oh, it is. This is just really high up. Okay. And then this one.
Uzi Knesset says, what you talking about?
So the icons at the top of the DOM.
Uzi Knesset says you on diff screen.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. The icons at the top here, when you mouse over them, they kind of fade away as you move off of them. See that? I don't think that was there before. And they're buying it. So the issue that we have is that opening range low is really far up there. So how far can they make it back? I don't know. I should double check here, make sure that I don't want to take a live trade yet. All right. Oh, that's not the right one. That one. Okay, cool. Okay. So now that we got all that out of the way here. Oh yeah, so they were talking about strategies, and I wanted to talk a little bit about your strategy. And there's two, for me, there are two, actually I'm going to say three. I'm going to say three big things that I think you should factor into your strategy. The first thing is going to be what is right for you. And that means, one, what's your risk tolerance? What sort of things do you tend to be good at? What do you know? Do you have an edge? Do you have something that other people don't have that gives you an edge in that particular market and in that particular trading style? Because if you don't, then there's probably going to be somebody a lot better at it, and you might not be able to compete. And that's a really big point that I don't think that we always factor in. Like, for instance, I do Olympic weightlifting. I'm not very good at Olympic weightlifting because I have actually relatively long, thin limbs. And weightlifting is a lot better if you have, short, stubby limbs that can hold a lot of muscle, because then you don't have to move it as far. And you have more muscle to do it with, right? And so if you wanted to be an Olympic weightlifter, then it would be good to have those genetic
says, I don't like this term
predispositions.
edge because it sounds like you have something over someone else, and that is not exactly true because it is not a 1-to-1 competition.
It's not always, but it can be, right? I mean, you're going to have a competition with other people who are using a similar strategy to you, right? And in these markets, that might be a lot of people. But that's where I say you want to trade something that, you might have an edge in. Okay. The second thing is that you need to be able to adjust.
Michael XC says, I know what it means, but I'm just thinking there should be a better term for it.
Okay, so let's call it, I don't know. I don't know what to say. We're going to have to use that term because it's just what we use, I hear you though, Michael. I hear you. Anyways, so the next thing is, like, you have to be able to adjust your strategy. Like,
Gary
when money
Rich
is coming into your market. Gosh, Gary.
Michael XC says, don't worry about it. I was just thinking out loud.
Yeah, totally fine. Here, let me do this. We'll read them in like batch so that you guys can type a bunch of stuff, because I know that you're gonna have a ton of thoughts, so I don't want you to be able to just talk it without interrupting, right? So yeah, the next thing is, like, the thing that I find is going to be the biggest determining factor of whether your strategy works or not is whether or not new money is coming into the market. If new money is coming into your market, then it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to make money. It just straight up is, regardless of what your strategy is. One of the big problems that I had was that I would do something and it worked really well, and then it turns out that it was just, money was coming into the market. And then when money wasn't coming into the market, the strategy did not work at all. My new strategy, I think we've fixed a lot of that. There are still places where it doesn't work very well. Like last week, it did not work very well, right? But that was just, we really needed to bring the targets in. Because there was like literally nothing coming in the market. Everybody was getting out. But when it gets quiet, it actually does really well. So I'm able to adjust it based on the market. That's a really important thing. But the reason that I was thinking about it is that somebody in Discord, who was it that was saying this in Discord? Rich. Yeah, Rich was saying in Discord that, it's, you want to have something that, is robust. And I think maybe we're saying the same thing, but to me, you can't have like one set of rules that just works for everything. I just don't believe that for a retail trader that it exists. If it does, it's very rare. And I just don't think that it's going to be useful to a new person to be looking for that. I think that what they need to do instead is you need to be able to look at what are the major things that affect my strategy. Okay, whether we're going up or down affects my strategy. The amount of volume coming in, the amount that they want to get into positions matters to my strategy. These sorts of things, right? And I can kind of look at all of those things, and then I can say, what are the market conditions specific to this market? And then I can adjust the trades that I'm making to that market, right? So for instance, in this market, because we are moving down, then what I expect to see is some buying on the upside that just kind of fades out for no reason, and then really strong pushes down where the floor just kind of falls out, and it might not even trade a whole lot, and it'll just trade down, and you'd be like, why is it trading down? Now 28.5, a little bit of an iceberg. So I was thinking maybe they were going to try and push the low, but they're already seeing distribution down there at the bottom, so I don't want to touch it yet. Anyways, those are sort of things that affect my strategy, and that's how I adjust it, because I know that we're going down, and I know that we're at the beginning of the contract, so I know that you're going to see volume trying to push it in one direction or the other, and it appears at the moment at least that it's down. But I also know that there's this trade war thing going out there. So we might see some places where guys try and take some longs, and we might see some really big spikes up, that sort of a thing. And that to me is like adjusting the strategy. Okay, bunch of comments here.
Michael XC says my edge is not overtrading, but that only works when I make sure that I don't overtrade. Stickball says I think short CN. Stickball says what do you think, Seth? Michael XC says a generalization of an edge for anyone would be their edge is getting their view of the market, chart, DOMs, etc. in tune with their way of trading the market.
Sure. Yeah. So Stickball, certainly the direction based on the things that we tend to look at. For instance, what the opening range did, where we are compared to in the bull bear zone, and frankly what we see in the volume profile, all seems to indicate down, except for one thing, and that is that the cumulative delta on this move is not in line with the move. We are actually at the moment at the high of the day in cumulative delta. We are at the high of the day in cumulative delta. Yeah.
Michael XC says ZN might even be sleepy, who knows, because of the moves earlier today.
I mean, that could be.
Stickball says, CVD is wrong.
CVD is wrong. What is CVD? No, I should pull these up. Cumulative volume delta.
Stickball says cumulative volume delta.
Not what's well, I mean, this part here is reconstructed, of course, but it tends to be pretty accurate. And for the reconstructed, the reconstructed cumulative delta volume can't be that different. Are you sure that we're looking at the same contract? Are you on March? This is definitely going to look different if you're on December. I already made that mistake at the beginning of the thing. It was like, oh, there's almost no volume on this down move. Okay, there was volume on the down move, but the cumulative delta still wasn't.
Says, oh, whoops.
Oh, it was. Was it that you were on December? Okay. See, now there was a big buy at 23 3/4. And look, the market was able to push through them.
Stickball says yep.
Cool. Glad I could help. That wouldn't have been very good if you tried to take a trade on. I don't know, guys. This is just it's the same situation, right? It's like the fundamentals of what the market seems to be buying into right now all seems to say we're going to go down. That like the economy is fine, trade deal is going to happen, and that the S&P 500 can move up forever, and that the the Federal Reserve just had to make a mid-cycle adjustment, and that they're going to, sometime next year continue to raise rates again and all of this sort of stuff. and ergo, we need to move treasuries down. And I just...
Stickball says so. CVD on December contract is down, but CVD on March 20 is up.
Mm-hmm. So it's like they're, well, they should have already been rolled over. So I don't know if they're related, but it looks to me like the guys are buying in the
Stickball says people just rolling over
March.
their positions.
Maybe. I mean, last call has already happened, so they should already be moved over. In fact, let's go and look at the CME tool. Because on the CME tool, they did roll over late.
Stickball says selling deck and buy MAR.
Maybe. CMEgroup.com. I mean, they're just pushing down. I don't know. When I originally came in here, I said I think that they're trying to goad me into selling it, and that was the perfect spot to do it. I didn't necessarily get a clear trade signal to do it. I am getting a clear signal down here at the bottom, though, that they're going to reverse it. Okay, markets. Interest rates. I really hate this. My microphone like obstructs my vision. I really wish that I could get it like this. That would be awesome. Maybe I could just hold it. It's hanging off of the table here. Pace of roll. And I'm also probably like super loud too. No, we'll keep it right there. Okay. So, according to this, they rolled over. First notice date 11/29. So they pretty much all rolled over on 11/29. But can you see there was actually like a kind of like a really slow roll. Oh, that was the 19th. 26th. Yeah, so it looks like on Wednesday,
RZH
Thursday.
says morning, Seth.
Wednesday and Thursday seems to be when they all rolled over. So almost everybody has switched over. The only guys that you're going to see trading December now are going to be like serious market makers and that sort of thing. Man, they really did come down, didn't they? Well, I can't participate. Like selling 27 would be a bad idea. In fact, buying 27.
Stickball says show us the ZN spreads.
The ZN spreads? You mean like with the hold on.
Stickball says December to March.
Oh. Okay, well we can do that. Let's do it with one of these. Okay. Duplicate a new window. So do you mean we would like to see here on my spread candles, instead of ZTZN, we just do ZN 1219? Is that the way that we'd want to do it? Or do we want to do it? We want the front leg to be 0320. Let's do it that way. And then this way is ZN 1219. Okay. And 1. Okay. So now you can see how they've changed, and you can see that the spread is going down. Which means
Stickball says there is already an exchange traded spread.
I can't necessarily see the exchange traded spreads with rhythmic data. I would have to okay, let me try. Spread symbol. Yeah. See if I try and put them in. It won't. It doesn't show me anything. Some Rhythmic doesn't show us exchange. CQG does, but for some reason Rhythmic doesn't. There are other things that Rhythmic does that are nice, but anyways, this allows me to
Ace
chart
Trade
it.
says morning.
So what are they doing? They're selling this one and they're buying the other one. In price, but cumulative delta wise, they're not. It's like, I don't know. Good morning, Ace. I guess the other thing is the E-mini,
Stickbal says ooking at it right now and the ZN Deck 19 Mar 20 reduced tick spread is going up.
Mm-hmm. If you have it going the other way, then you're going to see it turning up. But I mean, the point is it is moving. The one is moving in relation to the other. Now, the way that the E-mini is trading is interesting to me too, because they opened quite a bit higher, almost at all-time highs. They went and they pumped up and they made a new all-time high, and then they came back into, last Wednesday's range or whatever, last Friday's range. So now, could that be a buy in the E-mini? And the treasuries are just selling. But there's some good volume going back and forth here too. And it's still showing me possibly that they're overextended.
Mason Chan says I went long 270. Pray for me.
You went long 270? I really like that trade, Mason. So
Ace Trade says European news at 7.
we never checked here. Let's see here. December 2nd.
Stickbal says WTF cut it.
ECB President Lagarde speaks. Final manufacturing PMI at 7:45 and ISM manufacturing PMI at 10 o'clock Eastern time. 7:45 my time. So 9:45 and then 10. What's going on Tuesday? There's nothing on Tuesday. Wednesday, ADP non-farm. Thursday.
Gary Rich says folded hands, folded hands, folded hands, folded hands, folded hands.
I really like the long at 27. But I can't take it because the trend is down. And I don't want to trade against the trend, not until I've seen something like really significant. And if I was going to take it counter trend, I might only be looking for 2 ticks, right? But I totally see what you're saying, Mason. Like they're pushing down too hard and it's not going. Very high probability that it's going to turn here. It's just that they're like in general, based on that situation, there would be a high probability of it turning. But given the context, there's going to be a high probability that the shorts are going to push it anywhere that they want. So I'm super weary about it still. But I can see it both in the 5-year and the 10-year too, which is interesting. And like I said, the cumulative delta is still like really high. So like they might really try and turn this. It was a 9 tick down move too. That's a good trade. Of course, if they do try and push it up, I'm bet you that in this whole 27 to 28 area is probably like going to be a distribution area. That's my guess. So that again is like, okay, I would need to see an indication that there was like a major reversal. maybe if I saw the E-mini turn around and start selling, or Ace comes in and says like that he's going short. But I don't know if that makes sense in the E-mini because it looks like that the pressure is up still. What about the cumulative delta in the E-mini? What's that doing? It's very much long. So the pressure is up. And it looks like that when that buy came into the E-mini, that was kind of when the treasuries really got killed.
Ace Trade says going short, as soon as it goes short, lol. Alessio M says I am short FDAX from 13,326.
Okay, Alessio. I really wish I could see FDAX. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out the Discord that I have in the video description, I really highly recommend that you pull that up. Because one, Discord is around 24/7, and two, there are a lot of people that don't necessarily watch the stream but are in the Discord. Because some people just can't handle having somebody in their ear or, staying focused and everything. That's a pretty common thing. And we have everything split out by product. So we have a channel for every product. So it was just reminding me that one with FDAX, would probably be...
Mason Chan says lot of big opinions on Discord.
There would probably be a lot of people interested in your position in the equity indexes channel on Discord, perhaps. Mason Chan saying a lot of big opinions on... Yeah, you know what? What is his name? Mikey Cordy Pants is very opinionated. So we're having this thing in the lobby because Mikey Cordy Pants just doesn't like thick markets. And I'm just not buying his argument completely. I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm kind of trying to... I said maybe you just aren't patient, just kind of tongue in cheek, but I mean, he might have a good point here. It's just, I don't see, it doesn't make sense to me, and it doesn't seem to match up with.
Stickball says 5,000 contracts on the ask on the ZN exchange traded spread at 0.005 but only 500 on bid 0.007 weird.
Now that's interesting. I thought that the exchange traded spread showed you like the whole size on both
Harlequin
instruments,
says I like my markets like my woman, thin lol.
There you go.
Stickball says negative asterisk.
I'm telling you guys. I mean, so I have a video about this, right? Which futures product should I trade? Don't underestimate the thick ladies, guys. There are some real advantages to thick, okay? Listen. You don't want to be getting out there and you're ready to just go at it and the thing just falls over like a frail... No. You gotta have something to hit into. You got what I'm saying?
Says short 3,146.00.
I'm trying to avoid being crass here, but
Gary Rich says I like mine thick and top heavy. Stickball says
heavy,
S pretty THICC nowadays though.
The thing is that if you had asked me when I was like 20, before I got married, I would be like...
Mason Chan says lol. Uzi Knesset says thin ladies tend to change their minds very quickly lol.
And I don't know. If you asked me when I was 20, I would be like, well, I want thin people. I always like, and when I got divorced, I was like, I would like to marry somebody that is close to my body type. Okay. And I'm, like you can look at my little sister, although my little sister is a lot shorter than I am, but she's a thin, tiny rail. She's tiny. Okay. And I was like, oh, I would like somebody that's like my size. But when it gets down to the girls that it actually like works with and that I like, they're never the super thin ones. It's just like, especially the thing that I cannot stand. I shouldn't say I cannot stand because I don't want to be like derogatory or objectifying or anything like that. Okay. But I'm just saying something that I find really unattractive is those girls that like there is absolutely no meat on their arms. You know what I'm talking about? Like girls who their upper arm is like the size of my wrist. And it's like, how do you even move? There's no muscle on that body. How does your arm even move? I really don't like that. I really don't like that.
Michael XC says thin and top heavy looks best.
Yeah. But there's positives and minuses to everything. And the thing that kind of bothers me about what Mikey seems to be saying is that Mikey seems to be saying that in all instances that it is better for you to trade a thin market. And that's just not, that just doesn't seem to me like a very balanced way of looking at the market. That's why I was saying, here are some things that you should look at when you're deciding your strategy. What are some things that you are good at? What are some of the limitations with your own risk tolerance and your account size and things like that? So a big one, if you have a really small account, you can trade E-micros, or you can trade ZN, maybe ZF, although I've never seen anybody really work it out with ZF, but supposedly it should work out in ZF, right? But those are your choices. You're not going to be trading gold. Gold can move $1,000 on you in a day. No way. Okay, so that's like one big thing right in there. And then it's like, what sort of things are you good at? Like, if you are really good at buying something and then just writing it as it goes, maybe ES is your thing. There's just all these things. And to say that like a thick market, it's impossible to get an edge in a thick market is just not true, right? There's tons of trade going both ways. But when you're in a thick market, you can see more easily where it's going to hold and where it's not. And you can see very easily where it's distributing and where it's trending and those sorts of things. We very much traded right down through this 29 area. There was some volume, but they didn't stick there for very long. And now we're down at 27, and there's some very, very, very large icebergs down at the bottom at 27.5 and 27. Now I'm avoiding this spot because I see those icebergs and they kind of scare me. And this one right here is actually telling me, yeah. Oh no, that's interesting. It actually did give me on a 1 minute chart. It actually did give us a sign that they were maybe going to turn it at 30. This one right here, it's only a big outsized thing because it's an iceberg.
Harlequin says that's not thin, that's super thin. Market-wise this would be the FDAX lol.
Yeah.
Gary Rich says oh yuck chopstick thin women. Yikes. Harlequin says honestly in my opinion it also depends on trade quantity. I sometimes have less trades compared to you even though I trade for 9 hours a day and have 4 markets. I'm just picky with my trades.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I am not picky enough. To be honest, I think that's always been my biggest flaw, is that I'm just way too anxious to get into a trade sometimes. I mean, to sit down and say it's distributing here and there's a pretty good chance that they push it down a little bit more.
Don't be scared of the icebergs. Frozen 2 just came out.
Frozen 2 just came out. So did you guys watch Frozen 2? I don't want to get into it today, too deep into the politics of Frozen, but it seems to me like there was some pretty clear political leanings in that movie. And I'm not seeing discussion about it online. I'm a little weirded out by it. Because I would have expected...
Michael XC says, no Seth, you're picky. You don't have a problem with overtrading most of the time.
You know what, Michael?
Stickball
Maybe
says
lately...
I didn't even know there was a Frozen 2 WTF.
Yeah, it just came out last week.
Stickball says I watched the first.
Yeah, it just came out last week.
Uzi Knesset says, yeah, I'm a 37-year-old man. Disney movies are my everything face with rolling eyes.
Come on, man. The kids had to go and see it. So here's the thing. If you have kids, be very careful about seeing Frozen 2, okay? Because when you saw Frozen 1, right, you probably heard the kids singing the songs, okay? The songs in Frozen 1 were way better. Like, if you want to build a snowman, that was a good song, guys. That was a good song. And then the whole Let It Go, okay, yeah, that was an okay song too. Not my favorite song, but it was a good song. And the kids, they'd sing it, but there was this whole song to sing, right? Okay. In Frozen 2, there's a couple of songs, but they're not nearly as memorable. But there's one song that is like the main song, okay? And it has a hook that's like 4 notes long, okay? Now, normally a 4-note long hook would be like a really catchy song sort of a thing, right? But here's the issue, is that you're going to be listening to those same 4 notes over and over again for the next like 2 years. I am already like, stop. Go downstairs. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. It is so bad, guys. It is
Michael
so bad.
XC
Be careful.
says there are clear political leanings in all kids' movies these days. Look at Aladdin. He becomes Jasmine's B** TCH at the end.
I didn't
Uzi
catch
Knesset
that.
says big yikes. RZH says beaming face with smiling eyes. Ace Trade says garbage entry, lost 3 ticks. Ace Trade says can't believe there wasn't even a point to pick up.
Yeah, and see, this is where like the trade-in the ZN has me a little concerned, because that E-mini looks like it wants to buy. Look at the buy. Look at the buy. He's one short 3146. Seems like they want to buy, and the only thing that's going to stop them is maybe some trade headlines. You know? Oh yeah, President Lagarde's speech at EU Parliament. So that's definitely going to be a thing. How does it say anything? So that's at the top of the hour. Oh, so it's been 10 minutes now. Due to testify before European Parliament. So that might be a long time and might make this market tough and thick. Says there's Q&A after. Yeah, it's probably just like when the Fed president testifies to Congress. They're trying to take 27 again. Whoa. Okay, see, 26.5 traded through way too easily. So that was exactly why I was a little concerned about that long. You had scratched it at 28, had no buys when we bid. Okay. That's good catch. I would not have, if I had been long in that, I would have been like, oh, why is it not going? Maybe it will come back. This move down now is kind of like, these are the ones that I hate, because it might go down 26, 25 half and then flip around. But it might just go down to the low of the day. Like they traded through 26 half on very little volume, and there was so much there at 27 half. I mean, like, look at this. They're just trading right through it. Like a hot knife through butter. There was definitely like a reversal there, but it only made it up like 1 tick, and then he started bringing it down again. So you have this seller that is just gonna take it down no matter what. And like I said, when they sell, it's kind of like they're able to break through the bottom spots really easily, because it really it's almost like a waiting game, like waiting for all of these longs to puke. Okay, well, there was a little slight pushback at 25 half. See, that one almost kind of looks like, well, it's not giving us a signal, but like from a risk reward perspective, it feels a little better. Yeah. Sure. Like 25. Should be a spot because of the volume profile and where they traded at last time that they're going to try and hold.
Harlequin says you think S gonna buy on the open? The new tariffs on Argentina and Brazil won't move the S down for more?
So I did not read about new tariffs on Argentina and Brazil, but I certainly think that there's trade war concerns out there. It's just that the market doesn't seem to be reacting to it at all at the moment. Excuse me. My nose is a little stuffed up. I mean, with all of that said, the unusual cumulative delta in the E-mini before the open, okay? Oh, I did. Okay, yeah, the E-mini doesn't switch over yet, right?
Ace Trade says still December contracts. Alessio M says Trump said it was because of currency depreciation. Brazil and Argentina signed to sell agriculture products to China recently.
Really? Like the China thing just like really perplexes me. Like, why?
Harlequin says Trump tweet 3H ago, Brazil and Argentina have been presiding over a massive devaluation of their currencies. Therefore, effective immediately, I will restore the tariffs on all steel and aluminum.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Popularity Matters says I'm ready to play with the new Jigsaw update.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I have it working right here. Can you see?
Ace Trade says short 3,146.75, not taking that trade.
He sees a short. That's interesting. Oh, I really see it too. Oh, if it was like 7 o'clock, we would definitely take that one, yeah? Do I see it over here on this? No, it's just a little too slow to tell on this cumulative delta thing.
Michael XC says Ace got burned already today.
Yeah, well, we don't like to hold it into the E-mini open, right? So we can let them do their 15 minutes, and then maybe today they'll actually sell. Who knows? But the tendency has been not to, right?
Ace Trade says at Michael XZ yup. I'm in conservation mode.
Yeah, I got that. Well, now that it's 7:17, oh yeah, so two things. First of all, go ahead and hit that like button. I really appreciate it. We got 22 confirmed.
Gary Rich says all the Latin Cent banks have been cutting rates. Let's see if USMCA gets passed in the House.
We got 22 current viewers, so thank you guys very much. I'm quite pleased to see us get up to those numbers so quickly. And then the other thing is I have another video coming out in 10 minutes. The video, it's a programming video about data structures. And if you've seen my histogram, that we've shown on the stream before, where we could show, what is the average swing on your instrument and like what's the distribution profile of it so that you can see. So I basically show you how I make that indicator. Not how I draw it, but how the data works. It's really simple. And the indicator is up there for free, or you can just go to the downloads channel in Discord to download it. That's going to be in 10 minutes. So check that video out. I think I'm giving you like a really good edge there. So, I mean, it's an edge that if you don't have it already, like you really want it. So, maybe someday we'll be able to make it in Sierra charts. Although I spent a bit of time this weekend programming in Sierra charts, and I was not very impressed. I'm going to have to do quite a bit to figure out how to draw my own stuff in Sierra charts. I think that doing what I did in NinjaTrader is a little bit more complicated in Sierra charts, but I think I can do it. But I did create my histograms. I did create my my level 2 histograms in Sierra charts. But the data stopped working when I got the code to compile. So
Michael XC says sorry, what is this edge, an indicator?
It's Well, I suppose you could call it an indicator, but it's kind of more of a, you put it on your instrument and it will tell you statistics about your instrument. So what I recommend doing is put it on, a chart for whatever time frame you want to trade. So like, excuse me, I like to be in a trade for 30 minutes. So if I'm catching a swing, 30-minute swing, and then I look at what is the average range of a 30-minute time period. And what my indicator does is it creates a histogram here. You know what? I'm yapping. I can just show you. Duplicate a new window. So here's a 30-minute chart. And get rid of everything. Range histogram basic. Okay. Right. So this is telling us within the last, 60 days, what the ranges tend to be. Okay. Should actually, I think that 90 days is better. So do it like that. Wow, there was one day that it went 60 ticks. That's hilarious. Okay. So here it's telling us. Oh wait, and I like to change the data series to be like, okay, only do the 2 hours that I trade. Okay, that changes things a lot, right? Okay, so what is it telling us? In the time period that we trade, you're going to get between 0 and 8 ticks. And you're significantly less likely to get 8 ticks than you are to get 7 ticks. So in the past 3 months, probably you get 7, you might want to take it off. Okay. But there are a couple that did go a little bit further. I actually caught some of those, didn't I? Actually, I actually caught a lot of those. Okay. But normally you're going to get 4 ticks. That always tends to be the mode, the one that has the most. Now, only 29 samples to do it, but that's the way that it's traded the last 3 months. So that's the indicator that is available for download. You can go to the downloads channel right now. Yes, looks useful. It is useful. And the thing that is useful, though, is that the video that I created is gives you an explanation of how I create that from the data site. It's called Range Histogram Basic. But it's the most recent download in the downloads channel. And here in 8 minutes when the video comes live, there's going to be, a link to it and everything. But the whole thing is I'm explaining to you how I do the data for that. So you should be able to go and make a histogram for your own indicator. So let's say that there is some sort of a, indicator that you use regularly as a significant part of your strategy, and you want to know, like let's say you're using RSI. How often does the RSI get above 80? And like how high does it get? And like, what is the average value of the RSI? This will show you the distribution of the RSI. Like, you could write one that does that, and then you could get an idea of what is a value that is significant, statistically significant for me to take a trade at. Anyways. So what is you guys saying here about...
Popularity Matters says Sierra DOM has some great features, but it isn't good for order entry. It is also a bit sloppy looking. I spent 3 months with Sierra before getting Jigsaw.
Oh, that's interesting.
Stickball says, so why trade if less volatile? Michael XC says looks useful. Michael XC says what's the name for it? Michael XC says Sierra DOM is great for entry. Michael XC says using keyboard at least. Michael XC says Jigsaw is annoying because sometimes it doesn't read the keys you press even though the DOM is in focus.
Now that's interesting.
Ace Trade says all I have ever used in SC, it seems plenty powerful for me.
Yeah, so let me... I don't think I'm going to take a trade here, so I could dive really deep into Sierra charts for you guys if you want. There's something really interesting about Sierra charts. Let me see if I can show you. I'm pretty sure I have an editor here, or I have a version of this code that I can that's like simplified so that there's not too much stuff to distract from the main point. I thought that I changed it. Okay, well. Yeah, see, this is like a bit complicated. What did I call it? Spread. I swear I made one. What did I call it? Columns. Oh, here it is. Market depth changes. Oh, I started making it. Here we go. Okay. So we see here. Here's code in NinjaTrader 8. Okay. I got a basic indicator, and then I basically say every time that there's a market depth event, increase the total one time. One line of code, basically. One line of code to make something happen in NinjaTrader 8. Okay. Okay, so here's the same piece of code in Sierra charts. And in Sierra charts, I have to go in and I have to say, okay, get time and sales. And then I have to go through all of the time and sales that have been given to me in that time period and go through them and see if they were actually a level 2 update. And then if they were a level 2 update, then I can increase the number. You should use a prefix in front of all your indicators. I mean, I can. They're actually. It's actually pretty easy for me to find. I just forgot what the name of it was. Yeah. So, what's going on here? Well, NinjaTrader is event-based, which means that every time that an event happens, I can do a certain processing. Okay. Sierra Charts says that there's no reason that you would ever want to do that. What Sierra Charts does instead is it says, we'll let you call this thing every X seconds. And there's a setting in there. There's this update period. It'll say, it's one of the main settings in Sierra Charts. And it'll say, you can update this every 100 milliseconds, as I think what the default is. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to store up all of the updates that happen in that 100 milliseconds, and then you can come in and you can process them. So what's happening is you would actually notice that Sierra Charts is going to have a certain responsiveness to it. And the reason is because it's only processing stuff every 100 milliseconds. Whereas NinjaTrader 8 is processing stuff all of the time. And because of the way that NinjaTrader 8 is built, it has concurrency and multiple threads and things like that. In fact, I wonder if we open this up. I just performance. Okay, so my CPUs. Oh, can I not see all of them? Logical processors. Okay. NinjaTrader 8 is not that fast.
Michael XC says it doesn't go sub 100 milliseconds. Michael XC says from what I remember.
So there's no setting that I'm aware of in NinjaTrader 8 that says how often things refresh. It's all just based off of the way that C# manages it, essentially. It's all event based, which basically means that there's a process that's sitting out there that says, okay, there's new data. And then when it gets new data, it kicks off a trigger. And then that trigger, everything that's listening to that trigger then runs processes. And you're going to see it, it's all on these. So could you see how when we started getting more data in the E-mini that our processing increased a little bit? Yes, but I remember about people asking in threads for faster chart updates. Well, that'd be interesting. I think that there was some problems with it, right? But I don't think that it had to do with an update period. I think that those were more due to memory, probably. So we have all of that. Let's do something. Let's close NinjaTrader 8. Actually, might have to close everything. Okay, so to be fair, I don't think I'm going to take a trade. Are you guys okay? I'm going to close this, okay? Oh, man, they're selling the E-mini. Maybe I shouldn't. Let's wait. What I'd like to do. Yeah, Ace says my entry was solid. Look at her run. That was a good trade, Ace. We did the right thing. Sucks to see that, though, doesn't it? Let's wait. So that's my processor usage. Notice that all of my CPUs are being used, though. I'm going to bet you that if we close everything down and open up CR charts, that it's not going to use them all. What is your reasoning to stay out for today? So there's a couple of things that I've got going on here. So the first thing is I usually don't do very well on Monday. There's usually not as much activity on Monday. Today, maybe it doesn't matter as much because we had this huge holiday weekend, but even then, I've just never had good luck on Mondays, okay? And the number two thing is that my market is selling. So, of course, you can make money selling, for sure. But it's just the whole setup is not one that I'm comfortable taking at the moment. So that's another really big part of it. And then the second thing is that I'm just really too concerned about a trade war headline coming in. I don't want to come in and get short at 25.5 and then have a trade war headline come in and take us to the high of the day. That's the thing that I'm really worried about. So for that reason, I might not take a trade today. I mean, if it gives me a good trade, then we might. I mean, let's say the E-mini sells here. And then we get a good turn, and we could maybe short the treasuries if they give us a good spot. But who knows? I think that my GPU gets to, I don't know what does it, but something overloads it. I need a new GPU. I need a new video card. This is what it comes down to. The question is just, would a 1660 do it? Or would I need to upgrade to like a 2060? Wouldn't mind a 2060. There's some other features of the 2060 that I might find useful. But see, it's not even using 15% of the GPU. And I changed a bunch of things in OBS over the weekend to make it use less. Hopefully everything looks good and is still good, but it's not right. And then here, skip frames due to encoding lag. So it's like something is like happening on the video card. Michael says you don't need a 2060. Yeah, I mean, shouldn't, right?
Michael XC says you don't even need dedicated.
Well, I would recommend having a dedicated video card, especially with NinjaTrader 8. When that thing starts printing up a bunch of stuff, I'll leave this up but minimized, okay? So that when a big if we get a big spike, we can come back and look at it and see what the GPU did. So right now I've missed 374 frames.
Gary Rich says the range sucks, too thin, no speed, not enough points for actions, reasons to stay out for me. Adapt, improvise, overcome. Michael XC says I sent a link above about the Ninja refresh rate.
I don't see the link. Probably it didn't. Okay, but here I see a thread about it. Where is that setting? They could put a throttle on it, but it works differently. I guess was my point. Just based off of the way that I see them programming it, it works. It's different. Market data, maybe. See, where does this come from? Where is this property? Can you tell me where this property is? Because I'm not seeing it.
Ace Trade says at Gary Rich you didn't take that short at 3,146.75? Lol.
I'm wondering now, like, the E-mini broke the overnight range. They're almost going to break Friday, so they're looking like they could just trend, right? Would not mind taking a short. It's been 5 minutes. Whoa. Do you see that slippage? What the fuck? Did you see that? That was not cool. That could be a reversal, though. Did you guys see that? That was very, very interesting. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, by the way, the new video should be up, so let me give you guys a link to that. Here's the link. Guys, so are they gonna keep pushing down, or was that thing in the E-mini like super sketchy?
Ace Trade says I saw it. Some algo in Amsterdam is now a smoking pile of wreckage.
Right? I'm not. Well, they're pushing lower, but that was not. Man, if you're a retail trader in the micros, that is not necessarily what you want to see. Yeah, even if you're short, like that shouldn't happen. So people are messing with the micro market. That's not cool. Leave the small traders alone. Seriously. I mean, they're trading a good clip here, though. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not focused, says wrong. Well, you're totally right. I can't trade it here, though, still. Well, it is. Look at that. If I see one of my spots, then I'm definitely gonna look at that. This is getting ugly. Ugly. Hmm. Yep. Yep. They're getting clipped hard on the SE, yeah. Well, I'm still waiting for a short now in the ES. That one, like we just got all of that excitement. You don't want to take it when it's doing that, right? This little thing where it shows you where it kind of fades. I'm finding that so useful already. Like when I see a long tail there, I'm already like, okay, it's gonna waiting to step in to jump long. Man. Mm-mm. Oh, he sent it to me there. Yeah, okay, so that was the same one that I was looking at. I just don't see where in that thread they say where the property is. And the update logic though might not be on the chart. It might be in the thing that pulls the data in though. But I guess the thing that bothers me about Sierra charts is that your programmer shouldn't have to deal with that. Okay, so there was a little spike, you see, in the data, and the video encode like went. That was the frames being dropped. So curious. Okay, now that the E-mini is coming back up, see, this is exactly. PMI at the top of the hour. Yeah, good point, Michael. So maybe better to wait for that. And let's go and look. What are we looking for here? Oh, we got the final manufacturing PMI in like 2 minutes, right? That might be part of why the E-mini is recovering, though. Ooh, okay, so I'm just gonna. Okay, so we're looking for reading a 52.2 here for this one. Oh, can I get this to show me on Jigsaw? Yeah. Interesting that Forex Live said US stocks mixed in early trading. That was the strongest sell that we've seen in like 2 or 3 months. No big deal, guys. It's just mixed. Okay, 1 minute. They're pulling for it. Look, and they pushed it back down to 25.5. So glad I didn't buy it at 27. Well, it's curious that the E-minis sell that hard and the treasuries are still able to hold it down to the bottom. That's the whole... Okay, so there's the news, no reaction. Oh, Jigsaw's not going to update, huh? $52.6 versus $52.2. So, oh, now it gives it to me. So slightly better than expected. And they're still moving down. Very curious. Okay, well.
Ace Trade says that Gary Rich looks like a good entry.
Along? Well, when I look at the cumulative delta, it's such that a recovery here is not out of the question. But it sure looks ugly on the chart. Like 31, 35, 75 was a previous day point of control. So I'm going to take it right there at 31, 35. Look at the treasuries. Selling, selling, selling. Well, that time there was a significant drop in cumulative delta, especially in the 5-year.
Mason Chan says, do you think mixing order flow and charts can make you see things that aren't really there?
I mean, I'm looking at something like super specific here, right? I'm seeing it here. Hmm. Well, it's not flipping on me. So that's not what we wanted to see at all. Nope. No, sir. A little too early. Hmm. Okay, so I didn't like that. That should hold. They tick up like that. Whoa, strong stack 24 half. I like that. Okay, but the 25 not pulling. 21 and a quarter hold, having trouble holding. Even he's starting to tick down again. They're already going to attack the bottom. Anyways, thinking back to your question, Mason, I don't really feel like what I do is mixing charts and order flow. What I'm doing instead is I have an order flow indicator on my chart that I can't get on my DOM. If I could get it on my DOM and I could get this stuff to show me on every one of these, then I would do it that way. But as of right now, this is the only way for me to do it. So that's why I do it that way. But it's all level 2 based. What we're looking at is all level 2. See, I definitely caught the flip. I was just a little early. Now the question is, how far they can take it. Well, for me to get 7 or 8, which is what I would really like to see, they would have to push through some big stuff. So let's temper our expectations a little. That's good. Interesting that they aren't stacking liquidity between 26 and 27. So do we have a
Joko
little bit of a
Sugiharto
liquidity?
says hello from Indonesia here.
Oh, hey, thank you very much. That's the
Ace
reader
Trade
said
says
that
at
really
Joko
well.
Sugiharto, welcome.
Yeah, I like the way they did, because I would never have any clue how to say that. I hope it said
Ace
it correctly.
Trade says welcome.
From Indonesia, huh? I don't think we've ever had anybody come in here from. We get people from all over the place, but I don't think Indonesia. How did you find our channel? Just recommended by YouTube? Well, I would have liked to have seen the 25 half hold. I guess they moved back because the E-mini didn't just like completely crash. And it's getting thick at 25 half.
Gary Rich says at Ace, see how it bounced off 3,131. Joko Sugiharto says I just searched live trading and I found you.
Oh, that's cool. It's funny because we changed the title today and all it has is live trading in it. Usually we have something about treasury futures. I haven't decided we got to set a unique name for the video every day.
Ace Trade says at Gary Rich twice, got to leave for a bit.
Okay. I don't know if they're going to hit into this 25 half.
IQ says, hey, who got pull with Ninja Trader? They don't want to give me the discount of $100 I purchased Ninja 2 weeks ago?
Really? They've got like a promotion going on, I think. It was something about $300 off of something. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't have quote unquote pull. I've talked to them a few times, but company like that big, it's hard to have pull on anybody, right? That would be unethical. Unethical. Mm. What do we see on this side? No. Okay. Something I find useful about the fade in the E-mini is that you can see which side they're pushing more. Iceberg at 25. I like it. They got through it though, and they took an offer. Oh no, don't do that. Well, I tell you what, if the E-mini decides to continue its descent and really start selling out here, there is going to be somebody in the Treasury futures that is going to be very upset. Mm-mm-mm.
Gary Rich says DAX down 1%.
1%, huh? Did you intend to make it say it like that? Because that was awesome, Gary. Okay, they took the bid. Sorry, they took that offer. They're not putting a strong bid on it, though. Well, I don't really like that. Well, we get ISM here. We're looking for a reading of 49.2. And there's not a big, thick bid there at 24.5, even though the E-mini is now pushing lows again. Very interesting. Well, folks, I gave it a good shot, but it looks like it's just not cooperating with me. So we're moving down in the E-mini and the treasuries are still stacking. Okay, click on the uptick. Click again. Okay, so there was some pulling there. I really screwed this up. I don't know what to do, guys. pulling for the PMI. I don't want to hold through this news. Well, YOLO? YOLO? I don't know. Uptick. The way the E-mini is trading makes me think that we could hold it, but I don't know. Okay, here it comes. Boom. Fuck yes. Well, that was like the most foolish thing I've done in a long time, and I'm glad that it turned out.
Mason Chan says shocked face.
I can't believe I just did that. I should walk away for a second. Hold on. I'm just, man.
Uzi Knesset says fucking nice.
Oh man. Oh man. Can you
Uzi Knesset says fucking nice.
Can you believe that? Can you believe I just did that? Now where did I get out at? I got out at 30? Did I get out at 30? So there was a few more ticks in it maybe. Look at that E-mini go. Well, somebody just got blown the fuck out. So this could just like continue moving up now. If we can find a good spot to buy. Now, what was the number? Ooh, it was bad. 48 spot. Well, it wasn't that bad. 48 spot 1 versus expected 49 spot 2. And then what was this one? Manufacturing prices, not as good as expected. 46 spot 7. And new orders, 47 spot 2 versus a previous of 49 spot 1. They're not holding these spots very well. Let me double check. Where did I get out? Oh, I got out at 29.5, in fact. So it actually went a whole nother it actually went a whole nother step. This is where tick chart's really useful. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. Should have held that one. Did any of you guys short the E-mini?
Gary Rich says I enjoy getting rammed a turkey leg up the brown eye hole for 10 S points. LOL.
I tell you what. I've never done that. I've held trades through news before, but that one was okay. That was a suspicious stack at 01. That trade though, that was a little reckless, but it worked. And I mean, I had good reasons to do it. But holding it through the low liquidity is super scary.
Mario says big institutions taking profits.
Yeah, that stack at 01.
Michael XC says F asterisk CK, why the hell wasn't I trading?
I don't know. I guess we weren't trading because the market was waiting for this manufacturing news. Yeah, so they're distributing at 02. So that doesn't mean that it can't continue out, but let's say that I had gotten out and I had held past the 30, then I would definitely be getting out at 02, 01 half, because that's distribution. The chances are, hold on.
Gary Rich says I'll get it back later when I sell premium to those options buyers later.
So I'm expecting that there's going to be a little bit of a profile here now. Then there's this one. Maybe they come back up here and we start to get up to that. But for now, we're going to build a little bit of volume here, I think. So if we wanted to get in again, maybe here. Maybe here. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to come all the way back.
Mario says Vanguard and Fidelity can't just sit there at all-time highs without taking profit or buying bonds to hedge.
You think so? Well, I tell you what is happening today in the market is definitely going to shift the sentiment, yeah? Because, I mean, it's just been buy, and everything that was set up here today was buy, and the bulls... The bulls just got creamed today, didn't they? So if they got creamed and I don't know, it's like 14,000 selling, 14,000 contracts selling on the E-mini. Think about how screwed all of those funds are now. They're going to have to bail hard. I wonder what our VIX guys are saying today. I tell you what, some of the VIX traders are some of our smarter traders that I've seen. How come I can't? Agriculture. VIX. Wow, they are coming all the way back to 31 half. And where was my last buy? 31. Oh, I could have gotten so much more off of that. Oh well. I mean, this one might be... it's definitely died down here now that it's at 129. So maybe potentially could be considered a no signal, but probably it's going to take more than that to get me in.
Mario says we're close to taking out last Monday's low on S.
Is it last Monday's low? You mean the 24th? Oh yeah, they stopped right at it. 31.16.25. Good call, Mario. Man, the thing that I see in treasuries is like the whole technical and order flow picture has been completely decimated. So whereas before it looked like it was a good short, now I think you want to be going long, and I just don't know how long they can make it today. They took profits there at 01 half, absolutely. The level 2 was really obvious that they were doing it because they ticked up and there was that big stack, and then all they did was go up 2 ticks and turn around. So So that was distribution. We've got to wait for another long, like a solid long signal if we're going to get in this again. Plus, you know what? We made what? 8, 9, 10, 11. I made 12 ticks today, which should put me. It's not amazing, but it puts me in a pretty good spot. I'm pretty happy about it. I actually think unless we see another really solid short in the E-mini, that it might be a good idea for me to just stop, because that trade was a little emotional, right? That trade was a little emotional. By the way, guys, hit that like button. That was freaking great, right?
Michael XC says I made good ticks today but forgot to turn sim mode off, so I made nothing.
No, it's okay. Hey, listen, it's okay. On a Monday, like the thing, I think it's always a good idea. You come in on Monday to not necessarily expect a whole lot and take it sim and see how good your read is, you know?
Gary Rich says now 8 down.
8 points down? I'm sorry, Gary. Well, you're probably not the only one. And then they take 31 off.
Gary Rich says soon only 6 PTS.
I see what you're saying. It's just recovering quite a bit.
Mario says don't worry, Michael. Building good habits pays off more in the long run. You'll make it back. Michael XC says now I set up my world clock alarms to tell me 10 minutes before market open to disable sim mode.
Oh. I need to set some reminders, because one of the things that I like to do is set up the next stream so that it reminds you when you visit YouTube that there's going to be a stream starting tomorrow at 6:15. But I don't like to do it during the day. I like to do it until all of the regulars have watched today's video, and then I put it out. So I tend to do it like just before I leave work.
Michael
and I always
XC
forget.
Says Q-Lock is great. You can set up to 5 alarms per time zone.
By the way, I changed the sound a little bit. Do I sound okay today? I'm not too soft or anything like that. I should have this, I could make my headphones a little bit louder. That's better, but...
Michael XC says it's a pro feature but seems to work on the free version.
I could just set up alarms on my phone. That's what I need to do for, setting up the thing when I'm at work. Yeah, even you recovering that one pretty well. That
Mario
looks a
says
lot
you
like...
sound good, Seth.
I sound good? All right. Hey, thank you very much, Mario. I changed it because when I did the video, the Ninja Trader video that we have up, I didn't like the way that it sounded. I was too compressed. So I changed it. Oh, that's interesting. Turtle Trade replied on one of my videos, and we're talking about who's like the innovation leader.
Gary Rich says, Seth, your sexy voice is seriously distracting me. Lol lol. Michael XC says I don't notice a big DIF from how Seth normally sounds.
Oh, okay. When it gets like encoded and everything, you might not be able to tell. But when I was listening to the recording on my computer, it was, yeah. It was pretty bad. It was so what happens is it gets overly compressed, and so the dynamic, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to get into how a compressor works. I don't think you guys care. I'm not getting like a take it long signal yet. They're still just coming back. See, this is where so many times I would be trying to catch the pullback, And then they just blow me out over and over. Okay, well, so there's something is happening here at 30. Something is definitely happening here at 30. There was actually a significant amount of pushback by the buyers. They bought up 30, they pushed it, but then the sellers held it. And the buyers actually bought 27.35 at 30. And now they bought 4,000 at 29.5, but the seller wins out again. There you go. See, that was okay. So now it's telling me that I can maybe buy it. And the 30-year is signaling to me as well. Ooh. Okay, now you take it. So when you get a signal like that, just remember whenever I say I see it, there's a really good chance that it's going to go 2 more ticks first. In fact, I would say about 80% of the time it goes 2 ticks more first. This one actually might just try and run all the way back. Oh, I really want to take another trade just because I feel like, hey, you're hitting good. Let's try and get 16 ticks today. But I don't know. And you know what? We're going to tell the wife because I recorded this. I did everything. We're going to give her, see if we can get her to come in and pull the trade out. I'm not going to tell her what happened. But I'm going to tell her, around 7:50
Michael
I took a
XC
trade.
says Seth quit while you're ahead.
Right. Well, yeah. I don't know. So from my view right now, I'm not taking a trade because I felt like that last one was a little too emotional. But I say when you're doing good, then go, take it, write it. What is that thing that guy says? Oh, by the way, guys, totally forgot. I'm making some memes. So if you're not following me on Twitter, I really recommend you go and follow me on Twitter because I'm going to be posting some memes every day, and I have a good meme today. You ever watched that CNBC documentary about Florida? We've talked about this a bunch of times. And there's that guy that's like, he gives the interview and he's drunk. And he said, people don't understand. When you start winning, you start betting less. Bet more. He says that. He's right to an extent.
Michael XC says it depends because you have to take time into account also. It's 2 hours after market open. Will the action continue?
Well, we have an interesting situation here, don't we, Michael? Because the market made the move. It looks like a lot of people went long into that trade. I got out a little bit too early, but hey, you know what? It could have been a lot worse. We still got 12 ticks out of that move. If I had waited for 16 ticks, then that would have been amazing, but I didn't do that. I said, hey, I got, when I was looking at the absorption and everything, I said, okay, you know what? Like, first distribution area, when you catch something like that, you just take it off and let it do its thing. Okay. So we've come back, and now we seem to be settling back. They might be trying to buy it here. Like this 29.5 area could be an okay spot to take it. In fact,
Michael XC says 12 ticks is better than you do some weeks.
Oh yeah, totally, Michael. You're absolutely right. But yeah, like, am I in the right mindset to be trading at the moment? I'm not so sure I am. So let them tick it up because we don't even know, like, okay, there was a good buy there, but there might only be like 2 ticks in that. If I try buying at 30.5 and maybe take it back to 29, I don't know, guys. That one's kind of a sketchy trade, right? especially with the way that they sold this, man. And the E-minis, well, I mean, they're turning back up because the E-mini is starting to fade again. But I think that we better just watch it. I think so. This gives us a good setup for the week, you know. There's going to be a lot more opportunity if this, these technicals continue into December. We could have an amazing month, in fact. I'm pretty happy. It's too bad I had some losers on Friday. This was bigger than my losers on Friday, but I wish I hadn't have given as much up as I did on Friday. I've been blessed today. Anyways, so again, if you're not following me on Twitter, I recommend you go out there and find me. Just, at Speculator Seth. Gonna post some memes. I spent like the whole weekend. You know what happened was like on Wednesday, was it? Oh yeah, it was Wednesday. Okay, so on Wednesday I gave up quite a bit. And I got in a trade, and it was actually working out really well. But it eventually it collapsed pretty quickly. So what happened was I was like, well, I know that I don't trade as well after 10 o'clock because that's when the half-life of my medication goes away. And then I become very fickle and not very good at controlling my emotions and stuff. So I said, well, I see a good opportunity here. So why don't we take some medication and, try and sit on it. So I did that. And then like 30 minutes later, it fell apart and I scratched it. And so I had like all of this motivation and I was waiting on other people at work and nothing happens that day before the holiday. You know how it is. So I made like a ton of memes. So we have a ton of memes to give you guys on Twitter. So hopefully we can build up our Twitter following a little bit here. In fact, let's go and post it right now. I'm going to find the one that I did.
Mario says, Seth, what medication are you on?
So I have ADHD, and I'm on Strattera, which is kind of like a antidepressant style medication, which is that it prevents the reuptake of your norepinephrine and dopamine. Because the problem that I have is I have too many tubes that suck the neurotransmitters up. My brain also doesn't produce enough of them, but it has more to do with them sucking too many of them up. So that work. The Strattera works really, really well on the norepinephrine part, but not on the dopamine part. So like, it's very difficult for me to get motivated, like to start a task. And so, and to just like stay focused on watching this. Like you notice, I mean, people were telling me today, and I appreciate it, by the way, you guys, when you're saying, you're not focused. You're right. I need to focus more in some situations. In that situation, it was okay because it wasn't really a spot that I wanted to trade, but I still should have been focused, right? So I take a very, very, very like 5 milligrams.
Mario says, I feel like you're talking to me. I might need that.
You might need that. Yeah, you know what? Well, I mean, the thing is everybody has troubles paying attention sometimes when things are boring, right? But a person with ADHD, it is to the point, it is significantly worse than your average person, and it's to the point where it can significantly affect their performance, So like the key tell with ADHD is they will do stuff when they know better. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter how many times you've taken that trade and it screwed you over. They see it and they just reflexively go in and click it. And there's like almost nothing you can do about it. That's the big thing, is you're just like not in control of that part of your brain that sits there and says, okay, last time that this happened, what did we do? And
Michael
maybe we
XC
should
says, is
change what
manic
we
depressive
do.
something related to that?
Yes. So
Mason Chan says, maybe I have ADHD too then.
could be. So somebody with ADHD, you have your frontal lobe. Okay. This is the important part for trading. Okay. The key for trading from a mental perspective, in my opinion, and I'm not very good at this. This is the part that I think I'm the worst at right now, but we're working on it. And the thing that I've found that really helps is you want to keep this part focused. Okay. So when you're in a trade and it's going against you, what happens is there's this part back here, kind of down here, that it like stores emotional memories, and it's saying you're losing. Losing sucks. We don't want to lose. Right? And what you got to do.
Gary Rich says, I have sad stubborn ass disorder.
There you go. And this part right here, it's the thinking part. This is the part that's engaged when we say, okay, well, we had a big move up, but now they're taking profits and it's going to come back. And it actually looks like that all of the volume is going to come back out here now. So a long doesn't necessarily make sense unless we see like a real overextension to the downside and the E-mini really continues down. At the moment, the E-mini has saved itself from making it, this is all executive functioning that we're doing, and talking about it engages the executive functioning. And so what we want to do is we want to push all of the blood here and away from here to control things. Okay.
Greg Orlovsky says, hi Gary, sorry bro, super fast day. Last months we have been lulled into the long mode.
Right. Thanks for stopping in, by the way, Greg. Hope you had a good day. Anyways, so there's another part of your brain in the middle called the limbic system. Okay, so this thing down here where the emotional memories are stored, they will come up and trigger this thing in the middle, your limbic system. Okay. And your prefrontal, your executive functioning, the prefrontal cortex, or I forget what they call it exactly, right? That can control the other parts of your brain. Does that make sense? Let's read these.
Michael XC says, I know you guys laugh at it, but some of those YouTube videos with the special frequency sounds really work for concentrating hard. I know because I'm a programmer and usually it's easy, but...
Yeah.
Michael XC says, sometimes when you work on really convoluted stuff, you need all your faculties.
I hear you, man.
Greg Orlovsky says, yes, great trade, Seth.
Thank you.
Michael XC says, and that music really helps. Gary Rich says it, Greg, thanks, can't win 'em all the time. Michael XC says to make you more alert in such things.
Oh yeah, the music. Yeah, music can help for sure. Anyways, it depends. Like that's one of the things that has a little bit more to do with your left brain versus your right brain. Like if you listen to music with no words in it, then it tends to get your creative side of your brain working a little bit more than the logical side of your brain. Or sorry, this is the creative side. Anyways, I digress. So the thing is, as people with ADHD, this part of your brain, it doesn't work as well, essentially. So your ability to regulate the limbic system is significantly diminished. And so what will happen is if you experience an emotion, this part of your brain can just get itself trapped in a feedback loop where it will just get more and more excited. And so many people with ADHD are prescribed as manic depressive because you're constantly going between, overly excited and happy about something and overly depressed about something. Now it's different from manic depressive because manic depressive means that the chemicals are like completely off, But this has more to do with your prefrontal cortex's inability to regulate emotions. One thing I'm confused about, why are there so many autistic kids these days? Yeah, that's a good question, Michael. And I don't know a whole lot about autism, but I do have a theory on this. And the theory is that it used to be that autism was like, if you had autism, you couldn't function. You know what I mean? Like Rain Man, right? He was autistic, and that's somebody that is basically completely incapable of taking care of themselves, right? That was what we considered autism, right? Well, nowadays we understand that there's actually kind of more of an autism spectrum, and ADHD is kind of on that spectrum somewhere, but these are all disorders related to neurotransmitters in your brain. And so now you have a lot of people that are being diagnosed with quote unquote autism. They're still very capable people. It just means that they're like, difficult and don't understand people as well, sort of a thing. And so I don't think it's the case that there's more people with the problem. I think that it's just that it's more diagnosed because we've broadened the definition of what autism is. Okay. But for the most part, I think you're going to find might also be Asperger's or slight form. Yeah. Well, Asperger's is on the spectrum too, right? Because a lot of it has to do with which part of the brain is deficient in the neurotransmitter. That makes sense. So with people with ADHD, it's that prefrontal cortex that doesn't have it. The dopamine and norepinephrine doesn't get distributed there. Anyways. E-mini going for a new low. Are they going to do this? Well, it's 8:30. I can't take any more trades, but you know what? We got a good one. It's fine. Anyways, what were we talking about with the thing? Oh, yeah. So if you have ADHD, and chances are if you enjoy trading, we have an unusual number of people with ADHD in the trading community, because when you catch a trade, it feels good. You get that boost of norepinephrine and dopamine. And so it does more for a person with ADHD than a normal person. It reinforces it more. And so we tend to get hyper-focused on those sorts of things. Okay. But it's really hard to trade with ADHD. So if you do have it, then I would highly, highly recommend going to a doctor and getting a prescription. I don't know. They're a little bit too. What is the word? They're a little. I think that some doctors are a little too stingy with it. Like the problem is, it sounds like there would be more of such people playing one-armed bandits. I don't know. Anyways, a lot of doctors are really stingy with the medications because they can be habit forming. But it's actually a very safe medication to take if you're just taking the amount that is prescribed. And you'll know right away if you have it or not. Because if you have it and you take a Ritalin or an Adderall, it's all of a sudden, it's not like people seem to think that the medication is like superpowers. No, it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is what the world is like for everybody else. I can actually sit and focus on something for more than 5 seconds. It's a big difference. And you'll know right away. This is why I always get irked with people that haven't been diagnosed or they've never taken medication, but they've been diagnosed with ADHD or they know that they have it. It's like, you don't know. You don't even know what it's like for a normal person to think. And you go in and it completely changes your mind. That doesn't mean that there aren't drawbacks to it. For instance, it suppresses your limbic system, right? In my body, this has too much control over this. I can get sad about something for like 10 minutes and then I'm over it. It's not a good trait. And it can make it hard to associate with people because, like you're more interested in doing your thing and you don't care as much about them and their emotions. I have to like actively work at that. The stream helps because, I really, really care about you guys and I want to know what you're doing and I want to, if you're doing bad, I want to talk about it. If you're doing good, I want to congratulate you, So it's good in that respect. But You know, there's drawbacks for it, so you have to take that into account too. But yeah, if you have it, if you have ADHD and you are trading, you should absolutely be taking some Adderall or Ritalin. All I know is if I had access to nootropics when I was in school, I would probably have had 5 to 10% higher average, so basically perfect grades. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Michael. You know what? When I was in school, I always got straight A's when I was on medication. And then when I got into college, I was sick of it because I wasn't making friends and stuff. And so during that time period, I decided not to take medication. And I did not do nearly as well. You know, I was getting a lot of B pluses in there, and my average came down to more like 3.8, 3.75. It was still pretty good, but you know, oh man. Oh man. Did we just get the tweet? Did we just get the tweet? What was that? What was that? President Trump don't know if Hong Kong bill makes deal harder. Okay, I don't want to trade this. He's still talking, so it could do anything. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Well, that long at 29 would have been awesome, huh? Yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. I'm tempted to go long here. Well, I already said I'm not going to take another trade, didn't I? Mason, I think I'm done for today too. A little too wild. Yeah, you know, the thing is I've taken trades in situations like this and combo slips, and like I really regret that. Shit, E-mini clipped the. Yeah, I'm sorry, Gary. Man, the thing is he didn't even say anything. Ah, that's the thing. Donald Trump will increase tariffs if no China deal, Ross tells Fox. That's Wilbur Ross. Okay. Well, holy shit, guys. Let's put that in headlines. Bum, bum, bum. Why is ES going up if Trump said it didn't go up? They made a new low as he said it. What you're seeing right now is just the recovery as all of the short-term traders try and take their profits. Yeah, Gary Rich says quick overreaction. You're probably right. Do you know if MMJ marijuana? I'm told that it does, but I don't understand the chemical workings of that. Personally, I think that the effects that it has on your motivation and everything else like that is probably not worth doing it. But my understanding is that a lot of people with ADHD too tend to like marijuana. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but there is something there. 30. They're saying maybe long at 30, but look at the market liquidity below us is all gone. I don't like that. I don't know if I fade that one. Oh, I know why I lost. Listen to Lana Del Rey music. Alligator says, yes, hard to pick, but a short for me. Seems nothing can push it up for now. Interesting. Ace saying I'm trying not to be upset about the 30 points I didn't pick up this morning. Was it 30 points? Ace. Yeah, that's about 150 bucks, huh? You know what? You should have taken the long and the e-mini with me. It would have been a good spot. Well, I'm just one. The thing that I don't understand, Ace, is what we didn't get another short signal after that initial one? Because I never really saw a spot. It was always just seemed like it was just getting destroyed. But you know what? Still could be good for us. May says, yeah, never saw a good entry after that. I mean, the thing is, this has done so much damage. It comes out tomorrow, and we see a short, and we could have another really strong down day, and it could do this all month. We could have a repeat of last December. Wouldn't that be something? Well, this seller doesn't seem to want to give in. I can't believe that they're still pushing it down like this. Well, they might just shrug today off, but I don't know, guys. In the short term, I don't think I have a good read. No repeat of last December would be bad. Let's see if the Fed cuts one more time. You think that the Fed could cut again this month? I don't think that there's anybody who's already expecting them to do that. Let's look at the tool. No, let's post our notes first. I need to post my Bitcoin notes. If you're not familiar with the Patreon, you can scroll down, and in the video description, I have a Patreon, and for $5 a month, you get these daily charts that kind of give you a good idea of how overbought or oversold Bitcoin is. And my personal kind of read of the order flow of Bitcoin that day. So, if you're ever interested, I know that, not a lot of people in the Bitcoin market right now, but, when it's time to buy, you're going to miss it. I'm just saying. And I'm thinking about adding some stuff. I'm still looking for what is some information that you guys would enjoy having every day in the treasury and equity markets that would be useful to, encourage people that aren't into Bitcoin to subscribe. I'm still thinking about what I can do for that, but that's going to be one of the things that I'm working on over the weekend.
Gary Rich says currently the MKT thinks not, but you never know with the Fed. If the 15-deck tariffs kick in, a Fed cut will likely come to calm the MKT.
Yeah, you could be right about that. So did Bitcoin react to all of this noise? No, it didn't. Not that time. Okay, I'm going to type some stuff here. Okay, there we go. Probably some more comments in here. Their 1819 tick swings looks like ZB in range. Well, this whole thing right here is pretty wild, right? Like the thing is, okay, we got a good buy. That went off of the news. That's the one that I caught, and then it came almost all the way back, and then we got trade war news from Wilbur Ross. I'm surprised that the treasuries are not more triggered by that. There must be some other incentive for them to be for them to be trading it the way that they are that I'm not aware of. But maybe the better trade is short the E-mini. It's a shame if we had taken that E-mini from where it was, that would be one that you could potentially hold for a long time. But we'll see. I shouldn't try and make a prediction too far ahead, but we did good today. 13 likes too, by the way. Thank you very much. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit it now. What should we put in the title? Well, let's say I YOLO and hit a big winner. And hit a big winner off live day trading, stock market, and treasury futures. Futures trading. You want a title that is searchable, right? Yes, we do. So we should say trading treasury futures. Or just say live day trading futures, we should say. Futures, period. What would be searchable? We could talk about PMI. I don't think that many people are going to be searching about PMI. Something about live trading sounds good to me. Yeah, well, I always put that in the title. Yeah, I'm just going to say I YOLO and hit a big winner. Is that the funniest? Is there a better way to say that? Live day trading futures. Yep, I say live day trading futures. Oh, did we post this, by the way? We didn't. Let's fix this. Next Monday. Publish. Cool. ES needs to stay below 3116.5. Doesn't look too good at the moment, does it? They're kind of turning right there. Let's just say I YOLO and get lucky. Wasn't completely lucky. Like, there was reasons that I thought that it was going to turn there, but the fact that I was able to hold it through news and it worked out for me was pretty lucky, because that could have gone really bad for me, huh? There we go. Oh, does it not? There we go. I YOLO and get lucky. All right. 13 likes. Oh, I really wanted 15 again. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button really quick. And then again, I'm going to give you guys this link here. So here is the here is today's video, or this week's video, Ninja Trader Programming. I have a ton of cool stuff, but well, not cool stuff, but videos that I really want to put out there, but I'm kind of waiting until the new year to put those ones out. So probably one more this December. I'm not sure what it's going to be about yet. And then we'll get into some more serious stuff. Man, there was some good opportunity in all this. I really could have traded it, but I'm glad that I didn't. There you go. 14. 14 is what we can do, then that's okay. Thank you guys very much. Had fun. Lucky day. I'm going to see if we can get a little clip of that, because that was kind of funny. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow. And in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.